Welcome, mighty companions. This is Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. And we're going to talk about how to absolutely handle it when you do not like what you feel. Whenever you don't like what you're feeling. Whenever you don't like what you are feeling. What should you do? What would be the process to get out of that? That's what I'm going to talk about from A Course in Miracles today. And we're going to start out with our theme song, which is one of the Course in Miracles workbook lessons. And the name of that workbook lesson is, I am not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. So use this as an opportunity to allow yourself to get centered so we can dive into how to deal with letting go of not liking how you feel about something. I know that's a rare feeling for you all, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because I know you always feel good. You always feel good all the time. You just feel great all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You just feel great. But we're going to talk about what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you're upset? What do you do when you don't like the way you're feeling? So that's what the Course in Miracles is going to cover today. All right, here we go. Breathe. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of what? Of the world I see. Breathe. I'm not a victim of my mom. I'm not a victim of my pa. I'm not a victim of events or circumstance at all. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I've done to me. I'm not a victim of the future, not a victim of the past, not a victim of anything that comes out. I'm not a victim of the world I see. What's happening now, including the good stuff. What's happening now is what I've done to me. What's happening now is what I've done to me. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Welcome to Facebook Live. We're going to talk about what you should do when you don't like what you feel. What should you do when you don't like what you feel? What should you do when you don't feel good? What should you do whenever you feel upset in any way? I'm not a victim of the North. I'm not a victim of the South. Not a victim of anything except what comes out my mouth. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I've done to me. Help me out now. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. You don't have to believe the ideas. You do not have to believe the ideas. You don't have to accept the ideas. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. 'Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. That was Brother John Christmas at johnchristmas.com. If you like to get that music, download that music. It's an incredible album that he has a lot of music that's based on the teachings of the Course in Miracles. And that was I'm Not a Victim of the World I See, which is one of the lessons in the Course in Miracles. Let me see here. Back at you. Don't be mad at me. I'm here to help. I swear I am. I swear I am. I'm here to help. I'm so glad to see you all online. I'm glad to see you in here. I'm the Divine Repetition teacher, Earl Purdy. Been doing the Course in Miracles now for 40 years, and I now see myself as the Divine Remembering Coach. Because the Course in Miracles says that it's much more important to remember what it says and apply it than to understand it. So it's not so much about understanding the Course in Miracles, it's about remembering what you're being told, Earl, and then going ahead and doing it. So today we're going to talk about what you should do when you don't like how you feel. What is it you should do when you... Now, I'm going to tell you what the Course in Miracles says about what you should do when you're unhappy and you don't like what you feel. This is what you should do if you feel anger. Do you know that this is what you should do if you feel guilt, sadness, any form of lack of peace? I'm about to tell you the process for getting past that block. Would you like to know? Okay. All right. So I'm going to be on page 627 in the Course in Miracles text, the Foundation for Inner Peace version. I got a couple of loaner copies up here if anybody wants to follow along. Those of you who are watching and you're Course in Miracles students and you have and you're anywhere near your book, get your book. Get your book. Get your book. Get your book. I really want to be even more helpful to those who are studying the Course in Miracles because I've spent 40 years of my life learning and teaching this material. And the Course in Miracles, do you know that the Course in Miracles says the purpose of a relationship is to save time? That if you're in a relationship, it should be saving you time in terms of reaching your happiness and your peace. But the Course in Miracles says that there are many people who use relationships as the main way to punish themselves, and they use relationships to exact vengeance on themselves, and they use their relationships to delay themselves. So you have people who are using relationships to speed them along, and you got people using relationships to constantly keep them upset about something one way or another. So I'm going to go through this, and if you have the book, the reason why I'm asking you to have it is because I want to show you, I want to give you some tips about how to read the Course in Miracles and how to study the Course in Miracles, because there's only one little problem that I've noticed with many Course in Miracles students, just one little minor issue that I've noticed. They don't read it and don't study it. And don't do the workbook. Besides that, they are some of the most hardcore students of the course you could ever imagine. They will kick butt. They will stand up and very quickly they'll stand up and say, I'm a Course in Miracles student. Okay. All right. We had a little moment to jam. Okay. So, and plus, if you will follow along in the book with me, it will help you stay conscious. It'll help you stay conscious. Course in Miracles says, read me slowly. Course in Miracles says, you have to say the truth. Then you have to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. He says, then you start to believe it's partially true. And you keep telling yourself over and over again. And then you start seriously considering it. And then the Course in Miracles says, you have a lot of reservations, but you really start to consider this could seriously work. And then it says at the end, you accept it as true. So when you want to change your mind to think a new way, do not think saying the new thought one time is going to radically shift your conditioning. Your conditioning can be undone a lot faster than you did it. But if you've been conditioned all your life, don't think that you're going to change your way of looking at things without some form of attention and study and application on your own part. I'm here to support you in understanding what the Course is saying so that you can apply it. Okay, so page 627. This is what you do. I love this. It says, you can begin to change your mind. You can begin to change your mind. That sounds great. You can begin to change your mind. You know you can begin to change your mind, but you can begin to change your mind if you tell yourself this. I want you to think about something right now. I know it's going to be difficult. You're going to probably go blank as soon as I say do it, because that's the way the mind works. I don't know how the ego works. So as soon as I say, think of something you're upset about, the temptation is going to be, I don't have anything I'm upset about. Everything is fine. I know. The Nile is not a river in Egypt, okay? As I understand. I understand. The Nile is the way we feel good according to the Course. So it's okay. You can deny that you don't have anything, that you have any kind of apprehension or lack of peace about. That's okay. But those of you who know that just this morning you were thinking about something that you wish you could see another way in the last 24 hours, it's okay. The Course says if you want to change your mind, if you want to move toward peace, the first thing you have to do is tell yourself, at least I can decide. I don't like what I feel now. If you are upset and you need to change your mind, if there's something you're not giving yourself peace about right now, say to yourself, I don't like what I feel now. I can decide I don't like what I feel now. I do not like what I feel now. I do not like what I feel now. I do not like what I feel now. I'm on my job. There's something that's coming up. I don't like what I'm feeling right now. I'm in my relationship. There's some issues that are happening. I don't like what I feel right now. Maybe I have some financial issues that I need to re-perceive. I do not like what I feel right now. I don't like it. At least I can decide I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And when people are sharing with you how they feel, please stay out of your ego long enough to not correct them or fix them. Please, as much as you can. I know we're conditioned to jump in with our wisdom as soon as somebody says something that we don't like, or as soon as somebody says something that sounds the slightest bit negative. I know, but you're seeing right here that the Course is saying, it's okay to say I don't like what I feel. It's okay to say I don't feel good right now. It's okay to say I feel upset right now. It's okay to say I'm not ecstatically thrilled as a child of God and I'm jumping up and down in heaven-like bliss. It's okay. It's okay to say I don't like what I feel. I don't like what I feel right now about what's going on in our country. I don't like what I'm feeling right now about all the separation and the attack and the fear and the insanity. That I'm not going to sit up here because I'm a Course in Miracles teacher and tell you I feel great about all the stuff that I see happening. And I know at some level I've been told that it's all a call for love. It's a call for God. It's a call for help. It's a card. I know I've been studying this many years. I know what it says, but it also says, at least I can decide I don't like what I'm feeling right now. That's also in the book. Right up there with say I am as God created me, I am as love created me. The same book is saying you can change your mind by first saying you don't like what you're feeling. That's the first step. Okay, I'm going to give this to you in steps. And then it says, this much is obvious. Right? So the one thing that's obvious about what's going on right now is I don't like the way I feel. That's obvious. He says, so if you were to say what's obvious, which is the way you feel right now, then it says that paves the way for the next step. See, so what's the next step? The first step is I need to say I don't like what I feel now. If I say I don't like what I feel now and get out of denial and not pretend that I'm not feeling what I'm feeling, then he says that paves the way for the next what kind of step? He says the next easy step, the next easy step, the next easy step, the next easy step, the next easy step. Easy, 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 easy. Easy, 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 easy. It feels good just to say it. Easy, easy, easy. I want it easy. I want it easy. I'd like it easy. I want it easy. I want an easy life. I want an easy life. I want an easy life. I'll ask for an easy life. I want you to have an easy life. I want you to have an easy life. You have to say easy. Remember what it said, the chorus said, first you say it. If you want to change your mind, it said first you say it, then you repeat it. 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 Easy, 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 I want an easy life. I want an easy life. I want an easy life. Easy, 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 I want it. See, I'm doing it. See, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm not just reading it, I'm doing it. Easy, 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 I want an easy life. An easy life. Easy life. An easy life. So how do I have an easy life? First I say I can decide I don't like what I feel right now. Then he said that much is obvious. That'll pave the way for the next easy step. So what's the next easy step? The next easy step is this. Number one, having decided you don't like what you feel. You decided you don't like what you feel. So what do you do? What do you do? Having decided you don't like what you feel, what could be easier? What could be easier once you decided you don't like what you feel? What could be easier than to continue with and so I hope I have been wrong. Okay. It's like every kind of noise on earth today. All right, those are the fairies letting us know that's okay. That we're on the right track. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay.
I think you offended my phone.
Yes. Well, one thing I tell people all the time: the Course in Miracles has something that's guaranteed to offend everyone. You just haven't read your part yet. You read the book from cover to cover. I guarantee you, I don't care how open-minded you are, you're probably going to come up on the part that one of the sentences that just blow your mind, and it brings up all kinds of resistance. So the Course, so that's why, and it says many times in the Course in Miracles, it says read slowly and contemplate. It didn't say analyze. It says read slowly and contemplate. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm saying to you, what you want to do is, I don't like the way I feel. I hope I'm wrong. I don't like the way I feel. I hope I'm wrong. I don't like what I feel. I hope I'm wrong. I feel like this is the wrong job for me, the wrong place for me, the wrong relationship for me, the wrong city for me, the wrong financial situation, whatever I think is wrong, the wrong feeling. The Course says, say, I hope I have been wrong. I hope I have been wrong. I think nobody loves me and I'm going to be alone. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I feel like my mama doesn't love me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I could never have a loving, satisfying relationship. I hope I'm wrong. This is the way I feel. I feel like things don't go right for me. I feel like I just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and nothing really changes. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm sad. My life isn't exciting to me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I have been wrong. I hope I've been wrong. I hope I have been wrong. I hope I have been wrong. Now, is there anyone that cannot do the two things that you just heard the Course in Miracles request you to do? Is there anybody in here or online that's listening to this that cannot say or think, I don't like what I feel now, and so I hope I'm wrong? So don't you think then it just becomes a matter of I just don't want to say it or I forget to say it? Like, I'm going to hear this, and I'm going to go through this with you today, Earl, and I'm going to look in this book with you today, Earl, and I'm going to hear you repeat this over and over again today, Earl. But there may be a strong tendency I've noticed from the past of when I get through doing that and I walk out of the door, I do not remember what you said. I do not remember the steps that you gave me, and I don't use the steps that the Course in Miracles gave me. Is it a possibility? Have you ever had that happen, that you read anything or come to any class and then heard it and you were alert during the class, and as soon as you walk out of the door, you find yourself back in your old habits and your old conditioning around worry and concern? Okay, this is why this is good news. Because if I'm a person who tends to, most of the time, get into my upset and my worries, then it's good that I know now what to do with it. What I need to do is say, okay, I can decide I don't like what I feel right now, so I hope I am wrong. Do not want to be right when you're miserable. Don't tell yourself you're right and nothing's going right for you, because then you have nothing and nowhere to take it to be corrected. If you're doing the right thing and you're getting a horrible result, then what can you do about it if you're doing the right thing? So it would be better if anything isn't going the way you think you want it to go. It would be much smarter and beneficial to you if you would say to yourself, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I think you don't like me. You walked in the room and you didn't speak to me. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to be right. I want to. This week has been one of the most powerful weeks for me spiritually that I've experienced in a long time, because I've been wonderfully wrong several times, where I was absolutely convinced I knew what was really going on in the situation or circumstance. You couldn't have made me believe that I didn't have the absolutely accurate perception of what was happening, even though it wasn't making me feel good, which was my first hint, because now that's the first thing I do when I'm not feeling good. I go, I hope I'm wrong. If I'm angry, I go, I hope I'm wrong. I've learned that over the years. I don't want to be right about that. But if I'm feeling that way, and that's what I was telling myself, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Lord, universe, take away my perception of this. Give me another way of looking at this situation, this circumstance. So I was working the Course in Miracles on it. And then I was feeling better. And then found out I was completely wrong about the whole thing. So I was upset about something I didn't have to be upset about the whole time. But at least I worked the course when I was wrong. So I won either way it went. But it was funny because I was so wrong. And it happened about 3 times where I was convinced it was a certain way and it wasn't. So if you want to know when you're not seeing correctly, it's when you don't like what you're feeling. See, go beyond your intellect and pay attention to your feelings, because your feelings will get you in touch with what you really believe, and your mind will tell you what you want to believe. Your mind will rationalize everything. But you know whether or not if you be honest with yourself, you know when you're not feeling peace. You know when you're off. You know. All of us do. Now, you might lie to me and say you feel great, but you know you don't. Okay? So the Course is saying if you don't, then it tells you why. The reason why you should say, if you're a Course in Miracles student, don't stop and try to figure out what it's saying and what it means. It begs you not to give it your meaning. The Course pleads, please don't give it your meaning. Please Please don't give me your interpretation. Please, I beg of you, please don't you tell me what I mean. Please. Okay? It says, look down at the page, and I'll tell you what I mean. If you say you hope that you're wrong, the reason why you want to do that, do you know the reason why you want to do that is it works against the sense of opposition. It helps you not resist the answer. When you say you hope you're wrong, that means you're open to some type of insight. If you think you're right, you're closed. That's the situation we see in our country right now. So many people thinking they're right and not being open to any other points of view. And anybody that has a different point of view is the enemy. Now you can't even have points of view that are different. You know, either you think like me or I'm banishing you from my life. That's what you're seeing right now. So the Course has said to me, if you said, but if everybody who hated each other was willing to hope they were wrong about the way they were seeing each other, then there would be other viewpoints that we could use to get us through the challenges we have today. If everybody was to go, for the world to be in the shape that it's in right now, somebody's doing something wrong. Something must be wrong. We gotta be wrong about the way we're doing this. And when you say that, you become open to another way of looking at things. So the Course in Miracles says it right here. If you were to say, I hope I have been wrong, the Course says it reminds you that help isn't being thrust upon you. I'm not thrusting help on you. As a matter of fact, help is something that you want, and help is something that you need. So why is it so hard to teach people? Why is it so hard to teach people? Why is it so hard to help people even when they say they want to be helped? Because there's a part of them that wants to be right about the way that they're seeing the situation that they're in. And so when you try to help them, they act like you're trying to force the help on them. You know, I've had people come to me for help and then get upset because I was helping them. I'm serious. Come to me for a session and then get upset because I start saying something different from the way they believe. When it's the way you believe that's got you in the situation and your perception of the situation you're in right now. So then the Course in Miracles says the first thing you want to do, if you want to change your mind, you need to want to be helped, and you need to recognize that you need help. So the next thing I want to say to you all is, I want help and I need help. I want help and I need help. I want help and I need help. I want, then the ego, the spiritual ego goes, don't use the... That's the spiritual ego.
Right on time.
I want help and I need help.
I want help and I need help. I want help and I need help. So what do you say? I hope I'm wrong. I want help and I need help. I want help and I need help. Don't say Spirit isn't giving you the answer to the question of what to do when you're upset and you don't feel good. I'm doing it right now. The Course in Miracles teaches that it's hard for us to listen to answers that we don't come up with ourselves. So when someone else gives us an answer, it says, and we're an adult. If we're an adult, then sometimes because we're adult, we don't want to receive information that didn't come from ourselves. So I'm telling you right now, if you're upset about something, the first thing you need to do is tell yourself the truth about feeling upset. Then tell yourself you hope that you've been wrong, because if you're willing to tell yourself you hope you're wrong, then that works against your resistance to the answer, and it reminds you that God isn't forcing help on you. Life isn't forcing help on you. You need the help. You want the help. You need help. You need help. Why? Why do you need help? Why do you need help? Why do you need help? You need help whenever you don't like the way you feel. Because you don't like the way you feel. That's why you need help. Because you don't feel love, or joy, or peace, or healing, or abundance. He says, because you don't like the way you feel. That's why you need help. That's why you want help. If you're not happy in whatever area you're not happy in, then you need help in that area, and you want help in that area. And just because you don't like the way you feel, that's enough for you to ask for what you want and for what you need, just because you don't like the way you feel. And then the Course in Miracles calls this what kind of opening? The Course in Miracles says, this is a tiny opening. What's a tiny opening? The tiny opening is saying, and so I hope I have been wrong. Wanting to be wrong is the opening. Do you want the opening that'll take you to the solution? You want the opening that'll take you to the answer? I don't care what this is. You could throw out any situation that's happening in the world right now, and these rules would apply. I don't care what you would tell me the situation is that you're going through. Why? Because the Course in Miracles is a book on giving you the right perception of things, giving you another way to look at whatever you're going through so that you can feel better about it. You can feel more peace about it. Hear what I'm saying. The Course in Miracles is a book that works on your perception and teaches you how to see anything that's happening to you in a way that you still maintain your center. The Course in Miracles is a book that teaches you how to not lose your cool, how to not get upset about everything, how to stay tuned in to your higher self, no matter what you are going through. No matter what you are going through. I don't care what you are going through. If you could be given a way to look at it that would allow you to not worry as much and to have more peace, that would be a win, don't you think? Yes. Right. So when you're in your wrong mind, when you're in your ego mind, you come to a class or you go to a book and you're looking for it to tell you how to get you the thing that you think you want that you haven't got, and that's why you're feeling bad. So the temptation a lot of times is I'm studying this, so I decided I want a car, and I'm going to study this because I think it's going to get me a car, because I think a car is what I want, and I think a car is what I need, and it's going to make me feel better. That's not what the Course in Miracles is about. How would you like to feel totally fulfilled, totally centered, and totally protected, and totally secure, whether you got what you wanted or not? See, a conscious being is trying to go to a state of mind. An unconscious being is always trying to go to some external situation, circumstance, or material thing that they think is going to give them the peace they want. So that's how you can tell the difference between when the mind is asleep, it's totally externally oriented. When the mind is awake, it's totally internally oriented. So that's what this is about. It's saying to you that you know you don't feel good sometimes about whatever is going on right now. So be okay about telling yourself that you can decide you feel the way that you feel. That's okay. Then tell yourself you hope you're wrong, so you stop resisting the answer. And then it says, this will be enough to let you go ahead with a few more steps you need to let yourself be helped. The Course in Miracles is saying, I'm trying to teach you how to let yourself be helped. It's like, I want to help you. I want to help you, but you won't let me. I want to love you, but you won't let me. I want to give you the answers. I want to give you the solutions, but you won't let me. I'm trying to get you out of the situation that you're in your mind, but you won't let me. So the Course in Miracles is a teaching that teaches you how to let yourself be helped. It's a book on how to get out of your own friggin' way.
Yes. Amen.
Stop thinking you know anything if you're miserable and afraid and unhappy. That is not the guru state of consciousness. Okay? Hating everybody and thinking you're enlightened, that's not Sai Baba. You know, I am Sai Bubba. And I'm going to wear my outfit when I think y'all can handle it. See how slow I'm going? I'm going slow because we need to remember that we're being taught how to let ourselves be helped. So that means you reached the turning point. How do you know? Would you like to know when you reached the turning point? Wouldn't you like to know when you reach the turning point? He says, well, now you've reached the turning point. Why? Because it's occurred to you that you would benefit if you were wrong. That it would be to your benefit that you were wrong. So the turning point is when you think it would be to my benefit if I'm wrong. I've decided you don't like me. It would be to my benefit that I'm wrong. I've decided that I'm separate from God. It'd be to my benefit to be wrong. I believe that God doesn't love me. I believe I'm bad. It would be to my benefit to be wrong about that. Because I'm black in America, I got to always be scared every time I'm pulled over for a traffic stop. I'd be better off if I was wrong about that idea. I would be better off if I was wrong. I don't want to be right that every time the policeman pulls me over, they might shoot me. I don't want to be right about that. Because to be right about that, I had to be dead. Well, Earl was right. He said that was going to happen. Sometimes I like to use what happens in our dream world as an example of how you make the Course in Miracles practical, because now, and the Course in Miracles is saying if something like that happened, it could be okay for me to decide I don't like the way I feel. So I hope I'm wrong about the way I'm looking at this. I need another way to look at this because I want and need to let myself be helped in this situation. Okay, so the Course in Miracles says that's the turning point. The turning point is whenever you believe it would be to your benefit for you not be right about what you're telling yourself. Now, until you get to the point that you believe it's to your benefit to be wrong, do you know that until a person gets to the point that they believe it will be to their benefit to be wrong, they're going to believe their happiness depends on being right. So unless a person recognizes that they would gain if they were wrong, then what that person is going to focus on all the time, no matter what, is being right. They're going to want to be right even when they're wrong. How many of you all know people who just want to be right? No matter what you try to tell them, no matter what kind of reason you try to use, no matter what information, they just staunchly believe in the way they're looking at it, and they want to be right. Anybody familiar with that? Okay, yeah. That's a person who doesn't realize they'd be better off if they were wrong. And so you have to ask yourself, where is it in your life that you believe being right is more important than you being helped? Wow. 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 So you'd be better off. So the Course in Miracles says, then this much reason have you now attained. So this much reason have you, now you got this much sense, Purdy. You got this much sense. How can you tell when you finally got some sense? How can you tell when you're talking to a person who got some sense? How can you tell? Well, when they're not happy and they don't like the way they feel, they hope they're wrong, and then they believe they'd be better off if they were wrong, if what they're experiencing is something that they don't like and something that they don't want to feel. That's a person who really and truly wants to get out of the pain that they're in. Because a person that wants to get out of the pain that they're in will always do the thing that will get them out of the pain that they're in. The person who's not ready to get out of the pain that they're in, they will not do anything that you tell them to do that would get them out of the pain that they're in. And this is how the Course in Miracles kicks our butt, you all. If you notice, there's not anything that the Course in Miracles has said to us to do that we couldn't do right now. There's not one single thing I've said in this class today that everybody in this room could not do right now if they wanted to. That's why we forget it. Because the Course in Miracles teaches that our ego, which is our wrong teacher, it always directs us to the past, to the future, and to the outside. So if I'm not telling you something about something you got to prepare yourself for to do in the future, and if I'm not telling you about something that you went through in the past, your ego will take you into unconsciousness, because that means I'm in the present with you, which means I'm telling you something you could do right now and something you were capable of doing right now to get out of the pain that you're in. But there's a part of you that doesn't want to get out of the pain that you're in. There's a part of you that gets a payoff out of what you're going through. There's a part of you that gets a payoff and a payout, and it gets some type of benefit, it thinks, out of what you're going through right now. And the benefit that you think you're getting out of the situation that you're in right now, whatever that benefit may be, that benefit means more to you than getting out of the situation that you're in right now. And that's why when you're given information about how to get out of that feeling, you don't do anything about it. And that's why the Course says stuff that upset people, like, you want to go through what you're going through. Because even when I give you another way to deal with it, you don't use it, which means you want to keep going through what you're going through, or you want to be right, or both. And ouch. I'd be better off if I was wrong. I'd be better off if I was wrong. I'd be better off if I was... Try to say that 3 times fast. I would be better off if I were wrong. I would be better off if I was wrong. I would be better off. Your lips will go crazy. I would be better. You know why it's so hard to say? Because you've hardly said it your whole life. that muscle has not been exercised. I hope I'm wrong muscle. I hope I'm wrong. I'm right. I'm right. I am right. See, we do that in perfect diction. I am right. And wrong. We can't even get it out of our freaking mouth, boy. He says, so, would you like to go further? Would you like to go further?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It says, this tainted grain of wisdom will suffice to take you further. Your wisdom will take you further. Your wisdom will take you further. I am your wisdom. I am your wisdom. This is you. Your wisdom will take you. You don't take your wisdom. Your wisdom takes you further. So he says, so what does that mean, Purdy? It means that you are not being coerced. You just hope to get a thing you want. I'm not being coerced. I understand now, I want to get out of this feeling. I want to have peace. Oh, this is going to give me what I want. This is what, okay, you're not coercing me. See, I used to be a rebellious child of God. That was what my spiritual path used to be, the path of the rebel. So I always rebelled against anything that the world believed and the world taught once I got into new thought and metaphysics and started to wake up. I realized the world was the opposite of everything that was true. So I rebelled against what the world taught me. That's why I got into new thought and astrology and all the stuff I did in the first place, because I saw the insanity of the world and I didn't want to continue to do what I saw the world teaching me to do. And certainly being in a black body, I got tired of being told what I could and could not do and would or would not be able to do because of the color of my skin. So a lot of my getting into my spiritual path was based on racism. And me wanting to go beyond being told what I could or could not do. So I wanted to get in touch with spiritual laws that worked regardless of age, regardless of sex, regardless of, like, gravity doesn't care what you look like. It's going to apply to all of us equally, right? So I got into new thought and metaphysics because I wanted to get in touch with universal laws that had nothing to do with man and had nothing to do with people liking me or not liking me. So that's what the Course in Miracles is trying to do for us also. It's trying to get us in touch with ways of looking at things that you can always count on in any situation that you're going through. And so it says, you are hoping, so tell yourself the Course is going to get me what I want. Studying the truth is going to get me what I want. This is going to get me what I want. This is what, when you say this is something that's going to get you what you want, then you automatically are willing to give your attention to it. If you really believe it's going to get you what you want, and it's really what you want, then you're going to give it your attention when it shows up. So the Course says you want, and what you want is what? He says, what is it that you want? You want another way to look at this. Whatever that situation, whatever that feeling you're going through right now, you want to go, I want another way to look at this. This is what I want. I want another way to look at this. And you could also say it like this. I want another way to look at you. I want another way to look at you. I want another way to, I'm looking at you like you don't care about me. I'm looking at you like you're selfish. I'm looking at you like you're mean. I'm looking at you like you are neglectful and that you don't treat me the way I think I needed to be treated. I hope I'm wrong about this. I hope I'm wrong about what I'm feeling about you. I really want another way to look at you. I want another way to look at this. I want another way to look at you. I want another way to look at this. I hope I'm wrong. I want another way to look at this. I hope I'm wrong. I want another way to look at this. I hope I'm wrong. I want another way to look at this. Now, I'm going to challenge you to see how many times just over the next 24 hours you remember to say anything that you just heard me say 2 times. You will find that you will go, there's a big possibility you will go into Course in Miracles amnesia. And I'm telling you, your ego, it says it will try to stop you from remembering very simple things. I'm already upset, so I'm going to say I could decide I don't like it. Then I'm going to tell myself, I hope I'm wrong. Then I'm going to tell myself, I want another way to look at this. I want another way to look at this. It's almost like if you're upset with somebody, one day you do it like this. I want another way to look at you. 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 Nobody said you got to say the truth. Oh, I want another way to look at you. Some of the spiritual students sometimes think we're supposed to, I want another way to look at you.
No, sometimes I'm mad. I need another way to look at you right now. What's coming down right now? I hope I'm wrong about this. I want another way to look at this right now. I want another way to look at this. Now notice, just saying you want another way to look at it, you're putting all of that emotion and all of that energy toward manifesting that thought, which is, I want another way to look at this. So did I repress my anger? No, I didn't repress my anger. I used my anger. I want another way to look at you. Woo! He says, now you changed your mind about the day. I love that. He said, what? When you say you want another way to look at it, that means you have changed your mind. When you say you want another way of looking at it, that means you have changed your mind. There's the only person who's changed their mind who's willing to want to look at it another way and hope that they're wrong. That a person that hopes that they're wrong and they want to look at it another way is a person who has changed their mind. So what's the other thing that you do when you change your mind? He said, when you change your mind, you remember what you really want. When you change your mind, you go, what I really want is peace. What I really want is happiness. So you are no longer going to block your good by having one insane belief. What is the insane belief that blocks your good that you're no longer going to have? He says you're not going to have the goal of being right even when you're wrong. Stop having the goal of being right no matter what. Let go of the goal of being right no matter what. Don't need to be right no matter what. He says that's the insane belief. He said when you get to the point that you no longer want to be right, even when you're wrong, now you're ready to really ask for what you really want. When you no longer want to be right more than anything else, that's when you have the readiness for asking for what you really want, because you can't be in conflict. How is it that you can get rid of, if you want to get rid of conflict, how is it that you can make sure you're not in conflict? He said, well, the way you can make sure you're not in conflict is when you ask for what you want and you see that you're asking for what you want. He said, you'll never be in conflict. If I say, I'm asking for these glasses, and I can see that I really am asking for these glasses, I'm not in any conflict about what I'm asking for. Notice there's no conflict in that. I want this truth, and I see that I'm asking for this truth. It won't be in the conflict. But if I say I want something, and then I don't really see what I'm asking for, then I'll be in conflict. If I say I want love, but I don't really see what I'm asking for, then I might be in conflict. When you want something and you don't really see what you're asking for, have you ever wanted a person and you didn't see what you were asking for? Have you ever wanted a relationship and you didn't know at that time what you were asking for? Hello, I know you all know that you probably have done that. Come on, y'all, come on now. Have you ever had that happen, that you had something and you didn't realize what it was you were asking for? Okay, well, the Course in Miracles says, then that's where the conflict comes in. See, if I see that I only want peace in a relationship, and that's all I want in a relationship, I'm not going to be in conflict about what I want in my relationship. So when anything other than peace is coming up, I know there's something we got to do something about. And I know that I'm going to try to do something about it by hoping I'm wrong about how I'm feeling about it and really asking for another way to see that situation that we're in right now. Because neither me nor my partner is more invested in being right than we are in having what we want, which is the peace between us. So the last step is an acknowledgement that you do not have any opposition to being helped. I'm going to acknowledge before all of you that I have no opposition to God helping me. I have no opposition to life helping me. I have no opposition to you helping me. I'm going to say to you that I have a lack of opposition to being helped. So what you need to do right now is make the statement of an open mind. You want to make the statement of an open mind. Now I'm going to give you the definition of an open mind so you'll know whether or not you got one. Okay, if you're talking to somebody with an open mind, you want to know if you're talking to somebody with an open mind. The Course says somebody with an open mind is a state of mind where the person is not certain yet. They have doubts. So an open-minded person has doubts. An open-minded person, says it right here. An open-minded person is, an open mind is a mind that's not certain yet, but willing to be shown. And my mind is open. I'm not certain of what you're talking about. I'm not certain. I'm open-minded. I'm not certain about what you're talking about. I might have some doubts about what you're talking about, but I'm willing for you to show me what you're talking about. That's an open mind. I'm not certain what you're telling me. I'm going to stay open to the fact that you really like me. I'm not certain about that. I have some doubts about whether or not you like me. Show me. My mind is open. I'm not certain. Show me. I'm not certain. Show me. I'm not certain you love me. Show me. I'm not certain that I'm forgiven. Show me. An open mind is not certain. It's willing to be shown. So what are you going to say? What's the last step? The last one you say is, perhaps there's another way to look at this. You know what? Perhaps there's another way to look at this situation I'm going through with you right now. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. Perhaps there is another way that we can approach this. Perhaps there's another way we can look at this. What can I lose by asking? Perhaps there's another way to look at this. What can I lose by asking? And then you ask for another way to look at it. These are the steps. These are the steps that will pave the way to losing all conflict and fear. Very practical. Very practical. So I'm going to do a quick recap of the steps in just a minute. And we're going to do the love offering right now. And then we're going to hear these steps. In case those of you who have a hard time remembering this, it's in the book. It's in the Course in Miracles book. That's right. That's how you can make sure you go right back to it again. I want to thank you as a full-time teacher of the Course in Miracles. Thank you so much for sharing with me. I'm going to pass this around. You're innocent. Whatever you share or do not share, you're totally innocent. Those of you online who'd like to share, and I'd greatly appreciate it, go to my website, Earl Purdy, Purdy.com, earlpurdy.com. You can also use PayPal, Venmo, the Cash App, Zelle. All you need is my email address. It's earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. That's Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y. Those of you who want to get even deeper with me and take advantage of 40 years of obsession with the Course in Miracles and applying these truth principles, you can schedule a one-on-one session with me called a Clarity Session. I work as a coach, a counselor, a motivator, an advisor. You don't have an original problem. You don't have an original problem. You don't have an original problem. There are solutions. There's another way to look at it. You can go to my website. It's called a Clarity Session, and you can read about it in detail, and you can self-book an appointment right from my website. I'd love to work with you on one-on-one. I have hundreds of classes on YouTube, on Facebook, and on my website that you can watch for free. Remember, the name of changing your mind is repetition, study, giving it attention. You have to give it attention and study, which you will find much more it's easy to give something your attention and something your study if you believe it's going to help you. I'll say it again. If you believe the fire extinguisher was going to help you put out the fire in your kitchen, you wouldn't run and grab your CD player. You would go straight to the fire extinguisher. You would use the fire extinguisher. And then later you might find out how the fire got started. So what I'm telling you is this. You invest in what you value. And the things you put your attention into, those are the things that you really value and what you really believe is going to give you what you want. So I run to the course immediately no matter what I'm going through, because I honestly believe that it will make things better for me, because it always has. So I don't like go through a bunch of stuff and think about all the things I can do to fix it before I go to God and before I go to the course. It's the first thing I do. Why? Because it's my fire extinguisher. So you run to the thing you believe in. So if you say you're into new thought, spiritual thought, metaphysical thought, the Course in Miracles, whatever, if when you're upset, you don't go to the teachings, then be honest with yourself. It's not really what you believe works yet. And you're totally innocent. But you want to get a spiritual path that you really want to give your attention and study. And you don't see it as a sacrifice. You think it makes things better for you. That's why I do the course and have been doing it for 40 years, because it works. And it's always given me what it's promised whenever I would do what it said. But you know something? How can I follow instructions I don't remember? That's why you're hearing me say this about remember. Like, remembering those steps are very important, because how are you going to follow the steps if you don't remember the steps? So to say you know the course or anything, but you don't remember anything about what it's saying, means you haven't learned it yet. That's how you know. But if you can remember it and it pops into your head as your automatic response to something, in other words, if it gets to the point that you go, oh, at least I can decide I don't like what I'm feeling right now, so I really, 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 really hope I'm wrong. I want another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. What can I lose by asking? I want another way to look at this. Until that becomes my first response when I'm upset, then I'm not really following the teachings and the instructions that I've been given. But how can I remember to say that if I don't repeat it to myself and focus in on it and learn it, right? Well, the same thing is true for everything that you want to experience. If you think everything's just going to change because you're a nice person, you're really making a mistake. Being a nice person does not guarantee your life is going to go easy. Just because you're nice. No. How much peace you're going to have is going to come from how you're seeing things. It's going to come from how you see things is coming from what you believe. And what you believe is coming from what you experienced and learned in the past. And suppose what you learned in the past wasn't true. So if you learned in the past you're guilty, if you learned in the past you're sinful, if you learned in the past that God is condemning and punishing, if you learned in the past that you are separate from your Creator and condemned from your Creator, then those beliefs will validate themselves in your experience and you'll think that's true. But you should hope you're wrong, because you are. You are wrong. You are wrong. So here we go. One more minute. Take a breath, please. Take a breath. I know this is intense, but that's why y'all came. You wanted it that way. Because I'm going to help you right now, if you let me. Are you willing to let yourself be helped? Would you be willing to close your eyes and just relax? Now, listen. At least I can decide I do not like what I feel now. At least I can decide I do not like what I feel now. And I'm going to say it for you. At least you can decide you do not like what you feel now. So that's the first thing you have to do. Go, I don't like what I feel now. I don't like what I'm feeling right now. I don't like what, at least I can decide. At least I can decide. At least I can decide. I don't like what I'm feeling right now. So you know the situation, you know the person, you know the circumstance. Say right now, at least I can decide, at least I can decide I don't like what I feel now. At least I can decide that I don't like what I feel right now. At least I can decide. I don't like what I feel right now. I don't like what I feel now. At least you can decide you don't like what you feel now. At least you can decide that you don't like what you feel now. And so you hope you have been wrong. 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 Hope you are wrong. Hope you are wrong. Hope you are wrong. If you don't like what you feel, do what? Hope that you are wrong. Hope that you are wrong. If you don't like what you feel, say, I want another way to look at this. 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 You want another way to look at that. If you don't like the way you feel about that, you want another way to look at that. If you don't like the way you feel about that, you want another way to look at that. If you don't like what you feel right now, say you hope you're wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want another way to look at this. I want another way to look at this. I want another way to look at this situation. I want another way to look at this situation. I want another way to look at this circumstance. I want another way to look at this circumstance. I want another way to look. I want another way to look. 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 I want another way to look at this. I want another way to look at this. I want another way to look. I want another way to look. I want another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. Tell yourself, perhaps there is another way to look at this. Perhaps there is another way to look at this. Perhaps there is another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way for you to look at this. You know the situation that I'm talking about. Perhaps there's another way for you to look at this situation. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way to look at this. Perhaps there's another way to look at that. Perhaps there's another way to look at that. Perhaps there's another way to look at them. 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 You could say, perhaps there's another way to look at me. 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 I don't like what I feel about myself. 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 And so I hope I'm wrong about myself. And so I hope I'm wrong about myself. I hope I'm wrong about myself. I want another way to look at me. I want another way to look at you. I want another way to look at me. I want another way. So you see how I'm saying it over and 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 over. That's what you got to do. You got to get off your butt and actually your little cute, little gorgeous little butt. You got to get up and remember some simple sayings. Mighty companions, I want to acknowledge you for coming in here and hearing this. I want to thank you so much for showing up in person. Thank those of you online. I'm here only to be truly helpful. Oh, are you willing to let yourself be helped? Yes. Made it. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's the gangster lean. Wait, I got to get in my car. Love y'all.